Kia ora everyone, continuing on today with some more spooky LEGO sets and following up with some more Scooby Doo. This one is a set that's actually from my personal collection. This here is set 75902, the Mystery Machine, which is very highly considered to be the LEGO Scooby Doo set that every collector needed. Obviously, only 301 pieces in total here, and the set contains 4 minifigures if you include Scooby Doo, 2 of which here remained exclusive to the set, and that was a real sneaky move on LEGO's part to split up Mystery Incorporated like this, but that is how you do business. The set here retailed back in the day for the price of $30 USD before tax. That converted into NZD, we should have been paying around $50 NZD apparently, but man, 2015, these times were really tough when it came to our price translations. Our price here was 70 NZD for this thing, which at the time felt pretty shocking, but it's pretty standard today, unfortunately. In fact, actually, the $70 NZD sets have now become $90 NZD. Today in the aftermarket space, while every LEGO Scooby Doo set has seen a price increase, there are 2 sets specifically that have become incredible investment pieces for collectors out there, and this unfortunately is one of them. It's currently listed at being worth between 330 NZD sealed or $200 NZD in second-hand condition. I am so sorry to all of the modern day fans who missed these at release. I missed out on every single set back then, but I do have some email confirmations here of my purchase in September of 2020, just over 5 years ago now. Oh my god. Bro, you can't be saying that. I paid $126 NZD for this in sealed condition, so I paid almost 50 bucks more than what the 2015 price was, but significantly less than what that current sealed price is. Yeah, back then I saw this as a win, and that's crazy to say out loud. And the set overview here is the famous van from the Mystery Crew, complete with some of those team members and a spooky foe to escape from. And this time around we get to take a look at some really nice marketing imagery for the line, which included some amazing looking designs for the box art. Here we've got some awesome looking colours and a figure roster there. You can see the original price up in the corner for a much beloved but now defunct toy store that operated here in NZ during the 2010s and early 2020s. I really love the back of the box here, showing off some great 70s type aesthetics and featuring the main play gimmicks. Each set included some form of a storyline, with the gang receiving a clue up at the top there and then investigating the related mystery. So we can see some of the features for the van being equipped with some crazy detective gear and some shots on how the van can operate and hold all of the characters. We also have a quick showcase of the spooky tree there. And a feature I really like, down below all of our minifigures here are in a formation that resembles the opening intro sequence for the Scooby Doo Where Are You cartoon series. These are the minifigures that released throughout the theme. Enough about the box though, let's get into the product itself. I've had a blast rebuilding these Scooby Doo sets in 2025. I took this one apart some years ago while I was moving cities, so it's always been a really special experience here covering older sets that I haven't had displayed in quite a while. We've got the classic LEGO type gimmicks there with the side build extras, so we'll take a look at that thing first. The spooky tree thing here appears to have been an original idea for the set. There are plenty of scary trees that appear throughout multiple Scooby Doo stories, be it cartoons or movies, but this one specifically, with Zeke the zombie, seems to be just for this. A depiction of Zeke controlling the tree does appear in the LEGO original shorts. As far as small tree builds go though, it's pretty fun. I don't like how abrupt the lower half of the build ends. It feels like it's a Wizard of Oz looking creation, but it's missing the lower half given the arms are pretty fully designed there, but the legs are just simple stumps. Yeah, it feels limiting for its movements. You've got some ball joints for the arms and some rotates there as the tree leaves are placed on hinges, but there's nothing too substantial going on. Something really cool to see is that the hands can interact with the characters, so Scooby Doo here can be picked up and flung around if the tree needed to do so. The back of the tree here reveals to us all that it's a machine with some sticker of some controls and a gem that's hiding behind the build. The gem here appears to be what the mystery is all about. I don't love it when LEGO makes stickers for parts that exist as pieces, so instead of having some switches, we've just got a sticker. It's just a bit disappointing to me, but I understand. I don't think that you could really put some levers or something here. We do have a small standing space which is intentional. Our zombie minifigure is meant to be placed here as he is the one in control of the mech puppet thing of the tree. It's a pretty cool inclusion, and it is special for this theme too, because it's a very different threat for the gang to be facing here. Every other set features people in costumes with masks. This is the only one that seems to go a bit outside that realm. So at the same time, it's kind of bizarre that only one set does something different here. The real appeal of this set is of course the van, and this thing is amazing. I'm not sure what the general consensus is with this set to fans. I know that the theme is beloved by the diehards who supported this at release, but I also know that a lot of fans have their own specific interpretation on how the van should look and feel. So I wonder if this was a smash hit for Scooby Doo fans or not. As a casual enjoyer, I really love this thing. But there are many stickers here annoyingly enough, with a handful of printed elements there for the main display parts. It's a pretty nicely sized vehicle build, though maybe not out for 70 NZD. I'll take a closer look at the cartoon style details here, which like I said are mostly just stickers. You've got the flower and wave type patterns all over the sides of the build. It's the same style for both sides but flipped. Even the logo of the mystery machine is unfortunately 2 stickers placed on 2 bricks. And the issue with stickers, as always, is that border alongside the print, which clearly shows where the sticker ends and where the brick starts, though at the very least the green colours here are a better match to the bricks compared to the awful quality control that we see in modern day LEGO sets. I don't want to give myself too much credit here or anything, but I have to say, pretty mighty fine job there lining up those stickers. I must say, it's some good looking stuff. So it's a shame that I fumbled the other side then, because this is definitely a bad side for the photo ops. Now the only printed aspect here are the flowers on the hubcaps and that front decorative dish piece. It's the same flower used for both, which is a slightly different design to the flowers on the sticker prints. So 4 of these hubcap parts and 1 as a big dish piece. It's got that fun peace and love kind of vibe that fits so well with the 70s hippie theme. Again, I'm just in love with all of the colours here. It's a very bright and eye-catching piece for your display. Now the roof is a strange one, but I did get used to it eventually. It connects by a few studs here, but there's a part of the roof that's built onto the windshield there, and that part there just completely stays in place. It's detached from the roof itself, and you might accidentally find yourself trying to put the roof back on by connecting it to this piece. As for the interior, it's pretty strange. The van opens up like this, in which the 2 walls split at the halfway mark, and you've got an opening there with some display items. The front driver's seat features a wheel and some radio dials, and funnily enough there are no seats provided, it's just an empty space. It's very easy to fit Shaggy and Fred in here as the only gang members provided for the set. Now the back features some standing room and some interactions. It's just as strange to me because I've never personally seen the van used as a surveillance type hideout before, but again, I'm a surface level viewer when it comes to Scooby Doo knowledge. We've got some equipment here like a magnifying glass, a torch and a camera. All of these accessories here are used pretty much throughout all of the sets in the theme. Another repeated idea there are the food stations. Here I believe it's a grill of sorts with a big sandwich displayed on the bench, but you can also see some scanners and some tracking monitors. The ground plates there are 1x2s with studs, and these are intended to be used as a standing space for Scooby Doo, so the rest of the gang fits in at the front. There's a small gap there, as you can see, to display your figure so that you can have all 3 of them here in one go. As for the interior stickers, the wall features a bulletin board with some character sheets. We've also got a warning alert system of the zombie character. The other side features a tracker and more sheets of information on the wall. And we also have a tape piece back here too. I ultimately think there wasn't too much that they could do with a build of this size, and they didn't want to just make a van with nothing interesting going on. It's different to what I thought I would get from a Mystery Machine LEGO set, but it is still a cool one. Now the real question I had for this build was in regards to the minifigures. Am I able to fit the entirety of Mystery Incorporated into the van? Well, the short answer is, intentionally, no, unfortunately not. LEGO were releasing quite a few products like this actually back in the day. The one that gets me the most is that the LEGO Ideas Ecto-1 famously cannot fit all of the Ghostbusters members. It manages like 3 out of 4 of them, and you have to remove their backpacks. All the more reason why we need to see remakes of models like the Ecto-1 and the Mystery Machine. So I looked online to find a solution, and I found this thread on Reddit where someone made a couple of changes to the model, and now you could successfully fit the 5 characters in the van in one go. We see Fred, Daphne and Velma there at the front, and the 2 rascals have in place at the back. I'm not sure if they were able to build this model using only the pieces from this set though. That's always the ideal scenario, of course, and I was going to try this one out myself, but then I saw a couple people mentioning that you can just stand the characters up and all 4 of the main minifigures can fit in at the front. Now what was interesting was that the commenters here didn't actually have the 4 minifigures though, so they were testing it with random figures and proved that it could work. Here's the catch. I knew that this would be tricky because Daphne and Velma have some very weird bulky parts to them. Now I was able to get the 4 of them in there, but it's a very tight squeeze and it is definitely not approved by LEGO standards. Daphne's hair is the main issue. It's a very big and amazing piece, but she requires a lot of room there, and it's room that the set cannot provide. It does somewhat work though. You do need to make some adjustments yourself, and I think I may end up rebuilding some sections so that I can comfortably fit my figures in here. But I have to say that is a huge knock on the set. The fact that you can't actually fit the entire team here intentionally, who knows what they were thinking on that one. Before we wrap up here, accessory time with the food. Usually it's a burger that's featured in these sets, and it's got the really cool sesame seed buns. It's a burger each time. Now this set here calls this simply a giant sandwich, so I'm going to go out and assume that this is a build of a super Shaggy sandwich, and I think it's really cool to have multiple food builds in the theme. So it's also pretty disappointing then that we never got a LEGO piece to represent a classic styled Scooby snack. The minifigures here are a very strong selling point. One of these guys is one of the most sought after for the theme, and we have a cool, interesting villain here as well. Of course, the other two figures here are repeat ideas, but let's see just how unique they are for the theme. Now Scooby Doo here is in his standing position once again, the standing variant released in 3 sets in total as well as a polybag release. I mentioned that with Scooby Doo, the special stuff comes down to the headpiece being used. We last looked at the museum set which featured a neutral expression. This time we've got some classic cartoon style teeth chattering expressions. Half of the mouth there is printed to show that he is very nervous, and you can see that it is the exact same head mold as every other Scooby Doo figure, but there's some extra printing that's been overlaid on top. Scooby Doo works like this. He needs about 4 studs for display given his length including his tail and his head, and the head is also removable from the body. The value of this guy is a bit strange as Brickset doesn't label him as a minifig, he is considered parts to them, so on Bricklink we can see the current prices for the parts and the figure all together. It looks like this one is valued at around $11 NZD, which is strange because Bricklink also sells the head alone listed at higher prices. And this here is Shaggy Rodgers, the second character that appears in every LEGO Scooby Doo set. This exact figure as well is released in 2 sets in total, so there's not a whole lot that's special about this guy. We have a clue tile piece here, which are these special parts included in each set. It gives us a bit of the baseline story going on here. I still have the same pros and cons with this figure. I love the face details, I love the cartoon style torso, the hairpiece is amazing as well, and made specifically for him, but the no details on the pants is a bit of a downside. This variant of Shaggy does use a different headpiece compared to the one from the Mummy set that we looked at earlier. We have a bigger smile here and a much more nervous expression. It's the same emotion as for all of the other Shaggy figures, but the details here are different, which is nice to see since we will be looking at him a couple more times throughout the series. This Shaggy figure here has an easy value of being worth between $9 NZD to $15 NZD in the aftermarket space right now. And this is Fred Jones, and this is crazy. Fred is the exclusive minifigure here for the set, sometimes viewed as the team leader for the group, but he also specializes as the driver and trap planner for the team. What's crazy to me is how simple this minifigure is, while also utilizing some really great special elements. The hairpiece means everything to me. It is such a good special piece there, and similar to Shaggy, it was only ever used for him until Prince Charming began to use it colored in black recently. Still a somewhat uncommon part to get, especially in the blonde coloring. Fred also features an exclusive face print with a brave expression and a not so brave expression. I actually wish we had a bit more of a puzzled or a confused look for Fred here rather than fear, but I suppose it fits with the rest of the gang who also each showcase a scaredy cat expression. He features his signature ascot tie printed onto his torso and a tiny bit of printing on his back there too. A very cool simple figure. You will not believe the price here. Actually, it's not too bad, but it is expensive. It's currently said to be worth 30 NZD to $90 NZD right now. That $30 price point is very surprising and rather uncommon to see. I guess I must just so happen to be covering this set at the exact right time. Finally, we end with Zeke, or simply put, the zombie minifigure here of the set. This guy's very interesting, actually from an episode of the cartoon show, the episode that I've been showing clips of throughout the video. He is from the episode Which Witch is Which, and he might have multiple appearances throughout the series as well. The zombie is a disguise of one Zeke Perkins. This figure though does not feature an extra head to show the man underneath the mask, which is what makes this figure rather unusual compared to the other villains in the theme. We do have some mask-like details on the back of his head though. It's a very cool figure, and I love the cartoon styles for the zombie there. If you chuck a hairpiece on him, I bet he'd be useful for other themes. Now, I always thought that he shared a pretty close resemblance to the Creeper, which is part of why I wanted to display him with a hairpiece. This was before I found out that he was actually based on a proper character. It's a shame to not have some of those iconic villains though, like the Creeper or Captain Cutler's ghost. His value right now is set between $10 to $17 NZD right now in the aftermarket space, so he's pretty affordable for a retired LEGO theme. This is the first time that we get to take a look at the instruction manual for the theme. You've got 2 booklets here and some theming on the inside of some spooky green stylings, which I think was used in maybe the Alien Conquest set as well. You build the van to the halfway mark and then we have some advertising at the back. The sets all look amazing, the website is now defunct of course, and we can see the minifigures all attacking. The next page here advertises the website with some fun games to play, and then we have an advertisement for some more WB LEGO releases with the Batman stuff, the winning firefighter at the back here before we continue on to the final manual. You finish the van build and the tree is actually what you build last. We finish with an image of the set all complete, followed by the inventory list. The back of this booklet here has more imagery of the toy line. It's showing something about interactive games with your phone or something, I don't know. This was the stuff that I was never into when it came to building LEGO, but that just about wraps us up. Overall, it kind of feels like a cheap answer to say that this is one of the best sets of the theme, but it really is though. We do have a couple of issues though, the most glaring to me being that the size of the build is just a few studs too small to be able to fit every figure inside, but that's a massive issue for me. The sticker designs there I really wish were opted out as well, and it would be nice if the tree featured a bit more interactive features. But this is the iconic vehicle from the hit series. This has a very important part in pop culture and it makes my display look amazing. These figures all look really great alongside the van and help to make it the eye-catching display piece that it is. I love the set overall and I can't wait to look at some more of these over the coming weeks. If you enjoyed this look at an older LEGO Scooby Doo release, liking this video here and subscribing to the channel does help to support more videos like this one in the future. Thanks for watching everyone, ka kite anō, take care, hope to see you all next time.